ladies and gentlemen, every single month, regardless of hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, plagues, intergalactic alien invasions, I do a fundraiser to keep THORnews up and running. And we're in the November 2021 fundraiser. And at the beginning of the month, I definitely need contributions to keep things up and running. So if you would like to contribute, it would be greatly appreciated. I got a mailbox, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron, and only $1,167 left to raise. All right, now let's get to the bad news. Okay, I'm just pointing out, because I keep my ear down on the ground listening to a lot of things, that astrologers had been mentioning all year that November would be the worst month of 2021. And with all the gas giants and most of the planets on the same side, there's definitely no balance. And so, it's hard for me to believe that November will be worse than January and February, when we were losing about 4,000 people a day to the coronavirus. But you never know. So I'm just letting everybody know. Okay. And I'm just trying to report the news, so please don't get mad and yell at me, but I guess if you gotta, go ahead. Okay, so in the UK, MPs were told to wear masks in Parliament as COVID cases are rising across Britain. Tonga goes into lockdown after days of reporting its first case. About 2 days ago, Russia went into full lockdown/shutdown for 11 days because its coronavirus cases and deaths are at an all-time high. China locked down millions of people as they're getting coronavirus cases there, and that lockdown included locking 30,000 visitors inside of Shanghai's Disneyland after one guest got COVID-19. So they literally locked like 30,000 people down in Disneyland. As Autumn said, well, she hopes they're at least allowed to ride the rides. Ireland reports 3,726 new coronavirus cases, the biggest one-day increase since January. Greece reports the biggest one-day increase on record for coronavirus cases. Half of flights to and from Beijing canceled as the number of recent coronavirus cases in the city rises to 35. And in the United States, after watching the bulk of all the numbers start to go down over the last few weeks, we are now seeing the average case numbers starting to rise again with the plus. Now, they didn't lock us down during the third wave, the Delta wave. I don't think at any point they're going to lock us down, but I am just pointing out, hey guys, look, we are going into dark winter number 2. And so, just be prepared for it to get weird, wild, and wacky. Right before the holiday season coming up, you've got major supply chain issues across the globe, which people are saying will continue to emerge and cause problems because one little breakdown in one place can cause a chain reaction. You had the USA have a submarine go a little too close to China a few days ago. They got them very upset. And then today you have U.S. warships sail to the Black Sea, which got Russia upset. I don't think Russia and China relations with America have been this bad for a long time. They seem to be very upset with each other. You've got Syria experiencing its most severe wave of COVID yet. Of course, with all the bad news for people, you've got Bitcoin near record highs. You've got stock markets at record highs. You've got the division in the United States of America between Republicans and Democrats at record highs. So at a time where you need people, countries, everyone kind of trying to work together to make it through what I believe will be the last 6 months of the plague, you have almost no one wanting to work together. Carl Quintana, they're realizing right now that they're losing business because they're kind of stuck in a very long, very efficient, but inflexible supply chain. The world is a very different place, and it's not just the pandemic, but clearly the pandemic has not made anything easier. We are losing daylight time, so it'll be a whole lot darker earlier. It's not that big a deal, but I guess it's psychological. And the economy and the way it works has just been super crazy since the pandemic started. Here is Donnelly Brent talking about the Avis stock totally normal move today. If you'll notice that, like last year, it got down to $9, and today, or over the last 2-3 few days, it spiked up to $535 for, yes, Avis rental car. So yeah, dude, things are strange, and life is the ultimate cliffhanger. And so expect things to get stranger, man. I expect spring of 2022 things to be a whole lot better than they will be now, but definitely prepare for November and December to be super duper absolutely wild and probably maybe not that great. Like, how weird is it? Well, you got like all the global leaders meeting to announce that they're going to get rid of carbon like 50 years from now. And like, who can make plans anywhere past like a year or 2 years from now? And then in Dallas Dealey Plaza, you have hundreds of people waiting for John F. Kennedy Jr. to show up and announce that he's going to be taking the office over. So, yeah, dude, things are weird. And that's not even counting like volcanoes and earthquakes and weird weather. China's got a $300 billion real estate company that's belly up that may cause a major global market breakdown. Then you got, with all the weirdness, China's definitely been acting strange over the last few months, bro. And then LinkedIn withdrew from doing any business with China. Yahoo followed today and said they pulled totally out of China. The whole thing about the QAnon said that JFK Jr. is going to show up and will transfer power to Donald J. Trump. That's just, and it's biblical. It's the second coming of Christ. Oh, what a weird time. You've got a floating skull head of drones over Mexico City to celebrate the Day of the Dead. And then, remember, it's my job to tell y'all to play defense. And so you have like all the world leaders at a time where the virus can kill you if you are vaccinated or if you're not vaccinated, especially if you're older, like 60. So you've got like all the world leaders hanging out without masks while bringing up first responders and then having the first responders wear masks, dude. So I don't know. Like, Putin didn't show up to this thing. The head of China didn't show up to this thing. And so having all the world leaders come together and not wear masks, that's just crazy, dude. Remember the PPP plan? And it's weird that they named it, the PPP was when they gave all the rich people all that money for the pandemic. Now, and they named this one PPP, People Planet Prosperity. I don't know, the Payment Protection Plan or whatever. So yeah, it's just crazy, dude. And I imagine November and December are definitely going to be wild. And I personally have never cared less about politics or put less amount of faith in politicians than I do now. And so I'm just letting everybody know, yeah, things are kind of bad and they might get worse before the year's over. So definitely buckle up and try and celebrate all the good things you have in your life. And I don't know, like I said, the THORnews, I'm going to be hanging on by a thread trying to make it to my 9-year anniversary at THORnews, which is on the 23rd, and then Thanksgiving, and then, Christmas. And so, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're Planetary Defense Commander, I got to shoot it like it is. And so just be prepared for November and December to close out the year kind of super duper wild, man. Okay? I love you. Like I said, I still have faith. I have faith in God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. And I do think the world is going to get better. Things will get better. In the spring of 2022, that's still like 6 months away. And so it's going to take miracles to get us there. But, we are survivors and we've made it this far. So hopefully we will make it through, especially without World War III breaking out, because it's just so crazy to see the superpowers so upset with each other at a time where they should be trying to work together. And then there's the whole plutocracy. Like, everybody wants to talk about politics, but man, we're being ruled by billionaires and trillionaires now. That would be my opinion. And so we have to negotiate with them to make sure we still get human rights, I would guess. All right? Okay. But just be aware, but stay cool and keep the faith if you can. And yeah, man, I have done my very best at THORnews for almost 9 years as your planetary defense commander for 7.5 years, and especially the last 2 years have been super rough and super challenging. Every single month, I depend on your contributions to survive and pay my bills, and this month is no different, especially the beginning of the month to pay the bills. So if you would like to contribute and say thank you for all the hard work I've done to guide you guys, I would really appreciate it. I got a mailbox, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron. Only $1,167 left to raise. But I want to say thank you again. Astro Fight Club, you guys have been incredible. You guys have provided a miracle for me every time I needed it. Just want you to know that I appreciate you no matter what happens, and it has been an honor for me to serve you guys. And so thank you to everybody cool out there, and definitely thank you to DWP, the Texas Angel, Wizard of Oz, Alexis, Lauren, Richard, Barbara, Glenda, Arnica, Light Soul, Dan, Marlita, Brian, Ann, KJ, Max. I really appreciate you all. All right, stay cool and hang in there. It is going to be a cliffhanger until the very end, the last second of 2021. All right, God bless everyone.